Okay, so this is our final project for EDF 4800, and we did our project on how to introduce digital citizenship to first grade.
First, we're going to talk about the South Carolina Digital Literacy and Computer Science or Computational Thinking Standards. What are they? The South Carolina Digital Literacy and Computer Science Standards are a list of standards developed by a diverse group of teachers to expand the availability of computer science education for students in the state of South Carolina in response to the growing number of employment opportunities related to the field of computer science. Within these standards, there are content standards, which are a balance of conceptual and procedural knowledge that specify the computer science content students will learn at each grade level. There are also process standards, which describe the ways in which students will individually and collaboratively engage the content standards. Why are they important? These standards are important because our society has a rapidly growing job market full of computer science jobs, and students will need to learn the skills necessary to be successful in this market. Teachers are also guided by these standards because they were not educated as intensely in computer science as their students will be according to these standards.
The South Carolina Department of Education made a requirement coming out in 2018 that all students grades kindergarten through 8th grade would have these computer science and digital literacy standards. In an article by the Post and Courier, it talks about how these standards are important and the reason why the state is making them a requirement for all students. South Carolina has put these in place for students because there should be 500,000 jobs between 2014 and 2024. These students should know how to compute and work technology to make these jobs important for them and work. Digital literacy and why the importance of the South Carolina standards. Digital literacy is a huge part of the new standards put in place by the state of South Carolina. In this video, it talks about the importance of digital literacy and why it is so significant. This video shows why South Carolina has put these standards in place for digital literacy and also shows why students should be smart online and make good choices.
The role of schools in digital literacy education. Schools online allow students to put into practice the concepts that they are learning. For example, we have the Hour of Code, which allows students to practice coding in a more student-friendly format and helps them understand the basics of coding. They can also participate in other games online, such as typeracer.com, which allows students to practice their typing and compete against others worldwide.
Digital citizenship. A digital citizen is a person who develops the skills and knowledge to effectively use the internet and other digital technology, especially in order to participate responsibly in social and civic activities. The picture on the left gives many examples of how students can be good digital citizens. For example, Crossing Guard says that when I'm at school, I will use my personal device for educational purposes only. I will only use the assigned Wi-Fi network when I'm at school, and I will keep my device safe and secure at all times. He also says that I listen to my gut and I make sure that I am safe and appropriate when I am online. I will visit appropriate websites that promote learning and are for educational purposes, and I will follow copyright laws and will remember to cite the sources I use for all of my projects. These are good rules for students to follow when they're at school. Why is digital citizenship important? Digital citizenship is important because it teaches people how to properly use the internet, as it can be a dangerous place if you don't know how to use it. An article from cyberwise.org goes into more detail on this. It states that digital citizenship is important because it enables people to comprehend, create, and distribute information across all mediums.
This is a video about digital citizenship that appeals to the younger audience, specifically those in first grade, and it helps them learn what they can and cannot do while they're on the internet. The video features a hero known as Super Digital Citizen that helps a new student understand the things that he should and should not do on the internet.
This video could be very applicable in a first grade classroom for any student learning how to use the internet under the South Carolina Digital Literacy and Computer Science Standards. The standard that we picked for our lesson goes along with a first grade classroom. Digital citizenship and the ISTE standards. The ISTE standards come from the International Society for Technology in Education. We have been discussing the ISTE standards all semester, which reflect current shifts in the field of technology and are meant to prepare students for the future. They are being an empowered learner, a digital citizen, a knowledge constructor, innovative designer, computational thinker, creative communicator, and a global collaborator. Because society is becoming more digital, it is important for teachers to teach students, starting at a very young age, how to properly use the internet. Teachers should make sure that students can make appropriate decisions online, learn in a digital society, be effective consumers in a digital economy, learn appropriate online conduct, and understand that it's a crime to steal others' work online and avoid plagiarism.
The importance of gaming in education. On the video on the right-hand side of the screen, it talks about why it's important for students to be online and use apps to reinforce what they've learned in class. This is also important to help them learn more, but to also tell them why it is important to be safe online. A blog post on mindflash.com gives reasons as to why quizzes are important to students' learning. To test the knowledge of your digital citizenship, you will complete an interactive quiz on the following slide.
This activity, which comes from esafety.gov, helps students understand what they should and should not do online. It includes activities such as checking an email and deciding whether you should open the email or delete it based on the subject and who it's from, and it helps kids avoid viruses and other malware.
This tool, among many others, teaches kids how to be a safe and responsible user of the internet. We will know that learning has occurred in this lesson if the student makes a decent grade on the interactive quiz, showing that they know how to be safe online. Here are the references we used in today's presentation. To wrap up this presentation and what we have taught you today about the ISTE standards for digital citizenship and the importance of the South Carolina computer science standards, you will be able to effectively teach your first grade students how to be respectful and responsible digital citizens and make smart choices online. These students will take this information with them into their future regardless of what career they choose to pursue.